All right. Shalom, shalom. This is Naaman with the Great Millstone Camp here in DC, back for another video. And I thought we might go in on these tiny tops today. You know, these degenerate pieces of shit. Alright, professing to be us. Anyway, first and foremost, call Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Kahakwadash, and of course, double honors once again go out to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Salutations also go out to the fellow Akim that are out there on the highways and byways, pushing the truth across the four corners of the earth, aided, of course, by the many videos that are uploaded on a daily from various Akim from really around the world. Alright. This is the copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statutes that might otherwise be infringing. Non-profit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Fair use, fair use, fair use. All right. So what we have here, there was a show in Israel some years ago. Satirical. But, yeah, okay, well, whatever. But what I want to talk about for this video here, you know, they were known for taking on controversial topics. And none could have been more controversial than the one I'm about to show you here. The show is called Toffee and Gorilla. Toffee and the Gorilla. All right. And let's go show you the rest of this site here, this individual here. I just stumbled on this today, but he goes in on these people. He said Israeli guards admit dogs are used to rape Palestinians. These are some sick fucking bastards. Evidence of gruesome form of torture is overwhelming. And when you actually, if you can stand it, read some of the Talmud, you understand why this is so. So we're going to go right to the video here, and I'll let you see what I'm talking about. It's you Christians calling your Jesus a Nazi, alright, while she's playing it, nailing him to the cross. Like I said, it's satire.
שלום, הגעתי לתוכנית ההיסטוריה של טופי והגורילה.
Qassam, as you can see by the comments here, alright, and I'll read the first one. It says, the site here is Rostamemd. It says, okay, seriously, what the fuck? Israeli TV is wild. Is this how Israelis view Jesus? I'm going to read it verbatim. And yes, it's like some of you are just now finding this out. All you have to do is type in what rabbis, they're telling you openly how they feel about you Christians. And it's not good. And yet you're giving them all of your taxes. And as we go to this other site where I have this page saved, when you go into the Talmud, it tells you all about that. See, the thing is, these so-called Jews have studied, because you Christians are their enemy, as well as the real Israelites, the ones that were brought over here in slave ships, the ones that native, all right, to the Americas, those are your Northern Kingdom Israelites. So they knew what they were doing. This has been, they did their studying. They know who we were. But the thing you didn't count on was them using your racism against you. And they played you, it was, I gotta say, even though the scriptures say, and let's get it, because, oh man, they played the fuck out of you. And hey, I gotta give it to them. Because this is Sirach 19, okay, 22 is where I'm going. I gotta laugh. It says, the knowledge of wickedness is not wisdom, neither at any time the counsel of sinners prudent. This is in its it's somewhat brilliant in what they did. But you gotta understand, this is ultimately, this is the Most High behind all this. All right, think about this. They pulled off a grand scheme. And again, in the scriptures, it tells you, Revelation 20th chapter, it says how they deceived the whole world. How did they do it? That's what we're talking about here. All right, Psalms 50 and 16 and 17. All right, yeah, they took the covenant that was not meant for them into their mouths. Yeah. Okay. These people are the wicked. There is no chance of them to repent. And that's in Hebrews 12th chapter, verses 16 and 17. All right. So that not single, but those two verses blow the concept of your Christianity clean out of the water. About everybody can be saved. Funny how you you say that, but at the same time, you don't think that Jake, certainly the Negro, can't be saved. No, it's actually you. And see, all this is coming out now. All right, the Most High is the ultimate chess player. But you thought you were, you Edomites, you so-called white people. You think you go to your hyped up schools, learning institutions, so-called higher learning. In the scriptures, that's why you're not given to the understanding of this. 1 Corinthians 1st chapter, start at 18. All right, and it goes into why these things are not given to the prudent. All right, of this world, the so-called wise of this world. I'm paraphrasing. All right, let's continue. I got off track.
אתה נאצי ישו, אתה נאצי.
טופי, אני מפחד. אני הלכתי על המים, אני הפכתי צרצרים לעוגה. אני לא ישו. זאת לא...
These are some wicked, fucked up people. Twisted.
שלום, הגעתי מתוכנית ההיסטוריה של טופי והגורילה. ובה נדבר על מאורעות מרכזיים בקורות העם היהודי, מאז ועד היום. היום נלמד על צליבת ישו. שמעת על ישו?
הוא נשמע אדם נחמד.
לא. ישו היה אויב העם היהודי. הוא ניסה להפוך את כולנו לנוצרים. אף שישנם נוצרים טובים, ההתבוללות היא סכנה נוראית, המאיימת על שלום העם היהודי.
אני רוצה להתבולל.
אתה יודע בכלל מה זה להתבולל? זה לקיים יחסי מין עם גויה. זה לא דבר שלא אני ולא אתה רוצים כמובן.
אני רוצה שהילדים שלי יאכלו טובלרון
Made up language
אני רוצה לגור בשוויץ.
that uses Hebrew characters.
טובלרון כל היום.
טוב, שוקי, אם אתה כל כך אוהב את ישו, אז אתה תשחק את ישו.
Got a mixture of Slavic and German and well, let's see a couple of more let's see It was a satirical show, but this was in very bad taste. No shit. Let's see. I looked it up. Apparently, it's not a kid show. It's dressed like that. You would, but hey, that's over there. What? It turns out that Toffee and the Gorilla, all right, was not actually a popular '90s children's show, but a satirical adult comedy that first aired in 2007. It says question everything, of course. All right. Let's see some more replies. Let's see. Yeah, I said, if this is a kid's show, why is she wearing that? Oh, never mind. I forgot. It's Israel. A children's show, by the way. No, it's not. It wasn't. Still, Christians love. Got a good point. That's what I was saying. All right. For you, wow. No, they did not murder. Well, Edomites performed the action, but it was performed the act rather. But it was actual Jake that gave them up. And you can go into Matthew 27 and the really short version of that is Acts chapter 3 verse 13. So then they got that wrong. So it's like, because of what? So-called white supremacy. They just think it's them, and it never was. All right. Wake up, my Christian brothers in the West. Well, whatever. The good old half-naked chosen people giving a history lesson on Christ. But evangelicals say that these are the chosen people. All respect for Jesus has went out the window with evangelicals. These people are...
אני הוא יהודה איש קריות.
ואני ישו. אני רוצה שכולכם תהפכו לנוצרים ותאכלו חזיר וטבלרון ויהיה לכם כיף. אתם רוצים הצופים בבית?
בגלל זה אני אצלוב אותך. איך אתה מעז להטיף ליהודים התמימים?
אלוהים! למה עזבתני?
אתה נאצי ישו, אתה נאצי.
טופי! לא, טופי, אני מפחד. אני הלכתי על המים.
הפכתי
צרצרים לעוגה. לא! אני לא ישו. זו טעות. אני משה רבנו. אל תגיעי במסמרים, טופי, לא!
זה רק אפק, פחדן.
טופי! אלוהים! לא!
אוי,
אלוהים! למה עזבתני?
Yeah, so there you go. You Christians, this is what you support. People with this attitude, they never liked you. You were just an ends to a means. And as a matter of fact, let's go back here. Let's see, where is it? Yep. Quotes from the Talmud, the satanic book for the Ishus. All right. Sanhedrin 59a. Murdering Goyim is like killing a wild animal. That's what they really think of you. 2. Even the best of the Gentiles should be killed. 3. Sanhedrin 59a. A Goy, Gentile, who pries into the law, Talmud, is guilty of death. So this is what, you're already condemned in their eyes. All right. Number 4, to communicate anything to a Goy about our religious relations will be equal to the killing of all Jews. For if the Goyim knew what we teach about them, they would kill us openly. Well, that right there, wow. Liber David 37, if a Jew be called upon to explain any part of the rabbinic books, he ought to give only a false explanation. Whoever will violate this order shall be put to death. Yep, Hamath 11b. Sexual intercourse with a little girl is permitted if she is 3 years of age. Number 7. Jews may swear falsely by use of subterfuge wording. 8. Do not save Goyim in danger of death. 9. Show no mercy to the Goyim. All right. 10. If it can be proven that someone has given the money of Israelites, they're calling themselves Israelites now, to the Goyim, a way must be found after prudent consideration to wipe him off the face of the earth. Let me read that again. If it can be proven that someone has given the money of Israelites to the Goyim, but see, you're the sucker because you're giving everything to them. A way must be found after prudent consideration to wipe him off the face of the earth. Goodness. Number 11. A Jew may keep anything he finds which belongs to the Akum, Gentile. For he who returns lost property to Gentiles sins against the law by increasing the power of the transgressors of the law. Get a load of that. They've turned everything, as it says in Isaiah 29 and 16, thou turnest the things, thou that turnest the things upside down. Let's get that real quick. All right. The siege of Jerusalem, verse 16. Let's see here. Surely your turning of things upside down should be esteemed as the potter's clay. For shall the work say of him that made it, he made me not? Or shall the thing framed say of him that framed it, he had no understanding? All right. You know, clearly the idolatry, the fact that they use in matters of importance, the Babylonian Talmud is considered the go-to in terms of judgment over the Jerusalem Talmud. And they're like, what? Wait a minute. Why is that? Anything to do with Babylon should immediately, and I'm talking about ancient Babylon, not Neo-Babylon. I'm talking about current, where Iraq is today. Yeah, so again, everything's flipped on its head, but it's slowly being turned right side up. All right, and you can feel and see the resistance. All right, through the spirit, you can't. They don't want it that way because in this chaos that they've helped to engineer, all right, they've got all the power because it's, you know, where chaos is hey, that's where they're good at. All right. How dare you try to follow the law? Because they've hijacked, like I said, everything. All right, this is what they've done. And of course, this is has been the will of the Most High, you know, that set this up. Because of what? Our disobedience. All right, we're being chastised, not them. They've been given carte blanche, really, in the world up to this point. You know, Ecclesiastes 8 and 11, and is one in the Apocrypha. They've gotten away with murder, rape, robbery, and everybody gives them an excuse because they think they're the chosen. Well, not so much now, but it's gone on so long that we're at the point where, again, we're coming to this crucial phase where the MOT is being introduced because it doesn't matter what you know with what's coming. if you take that, what has it all been for? You know, this system has to crash. All right. Continuing on, we'll get back to that, what I just said in a little bit. Let's see. Let me read 11 again. It says, a Jew may keep anything he finds which belongs to the Gentile. For he who returns lost property to the Gentiles sins against the law by increasing the power of the transgressors of the law. It is praiseworthy, however, to return lost property if it is done to honor the name of God. Namely, if by doing so Christians will praise the Jews and look upon them as honorable people. How about that? And that was your mistake, you stupid ass Christians. 12. The book of, I don't even want to try it. A Jew should and must make a false oath when the Goyim ask if our books contain anything against them. We read up earlier. All right, if they really knew. All right. Where was that? Number 4. To communicate anything to a Goy about our religious relations will be equal to killing all Jews. Yeah. All right. So that, yeah. See. Let's see. The Jews, number 13. The Jews are human beings, but the nations of the world are not human beings, but beasts. All right. 14. Jehovah created the non-Jew in human form so that the Jew would not have to be served by beast. The non-Jew is consequently an animal in human form and condemned to serve the Jew day and night. This is what the upcoming Noahide laws are about. All right, goes into that. A Gentile girl who is 3 years old can be violated. Pedophilia, anyone? A Jew may violate but not marry a non-Jewish girl. 17. If a Goy kills a Goy or a Jew, he is responsible. But if a Jew kills a Goy, he is not responsible. I remember they used to tell me when I first came here, there was an incident here down in D.C., down in the DuPont Circle area there, where one of these people ran over Jake. I think he was 10 years old, somewhere around there. And they just, it was sad, from what I hear. There's a big uproar about that. And I'm sure that's happened in other places. But that just came to mind when I read that. Came to my mind. Let's see. 18. It is permitted to kill a Jewish denunciator everywhere. It is permitted to kill him even before he denounces. See? So now you know why they go after people like Rosenthal in the mid-70s, where he was talking about what they're really about. Well, they hijacked the whole plane and just to get him. I think several other people were killed. All right. People like the 13th tribe. I can't remember the name offhand. And others. All right. That tell the truth. Oh, but they'll call him. Oh, he's full of self-hatred and all that. Self-hating Jew and all that shit. Anyway, 19. All property, and here's the point I was trying to make earlier. I said I'd get to it. All property of other nations belongs to the Jewish nation, which consequently is entitled to seize upon it without any scruples. How about that? Yeah. 20. How to interpret the word robbery. A Goy is forbidden to steal, rob, or take women slaves, etc. from a Goy or from a Jew. But a Jew is not forbidden to do all this to a goy. See, they're taught this from when they are children. 21. God has given the Jews power over the possessions and blood of all nations. When a Jew has a Gentile in his clutches, another Jew may go to the same Gentile, lend him money, and in turn deceive him, so that the Gentile shall be ruined. For the property of a Gentile, according to our law, belongs to no one, and the first Jew that passes has full right to seize it. Now you're seeing, or you just heard, what's behind them going with Gaza. All right, Lebanon, and why they're pushing to try to get Iran under control, because they want total autonomy in that region. They've got plans. They've had plans for the last 60 years, but with especially that Ben Gurion canal, because they do not, especially when in the light of what's going on now in the Strait of Hormuz. But you've got other lanes of water, waterways that they do not control. So that whole region there, what they're trying to do is, aside from it being a personal playground, I'm talking about the elites, get possession of that area there. Was discovered that it has a lot of oil, Gaza there. So it's always been about resources and money. All right, like I said, follow the money. All right, let's see. What did I leave off? 23. A Jew is forbidden to drink from a glass of wine which a Gentile has touched, because the touch has made the wine unclean. He who desires that none of his vows made during the year be valid, let him stand at the beginning of the year and declare, every vow which I may make in the future shall be null. His vows are then invalid. Well, you can tell these people are really full of themselves and pride. Yeah. And there's certain things, they didn't go into. Remember I said about here it is, the Noahide laws? It is the Talmudic Jews and the Noahide laws that are really behind the New World Order and the enforcement of the persecution of Palestinians and Muslims. All right. It says Noahide laws, and this is what they're trying to get established over there now. These things are happening as I speak to you. They are trying to get laws so as you cannot openly profess the name of, you Christians profess the name of Jesus in Israel. This is what's been up for the last few months. I don't recall it being passed yet, but it says Noahide laws. Decapitation for confessing Jesus or Yahushua is Lord. And you people have you fell right into their, well, I was going to say trap, but, oh man, all these years, especially after that Holocaust, World War II. And it's been proven it didn't happen like that. It couldn't have. The numbers, the math don't math. Yeah. So they twisted and things to the point. How do you say they say in politics, they spend it, all types of spin on that story to make people feel sorry for them. Yeah, yeah. Meanwhile, the people that are the real Israelites, according to the curses that actually applied to them, no one batted an eye to even consider. Well, there were a lot of people that knew, don't get me wrong, Psalms 83rd chapter. It was a conspiracy, all right, to keep these people from realizing who they were en masse. You had sprinkled here and there some who knew, all right, i.e. Abba Vivens and those associated with him, all right, and even those, there were some before him. But that grand awakening, yeah, that wasn't, yeah, that, that's in term of an age, that's a very recent thing. Again, prophecy must be fulfilled. These people fit the prophecy of Edom, not Israel. These so-called Jews, all right, and they're being exposed. They're naked before the world now. All right, as Isaiah 47 says they will be. You can go to 2 Thessalonians 2nd chapter, the man of sin being revealed. Isaiah 14th chapter. I know I'm going all over back and forth. All right. Isaiah 14th chapter, Ezekiel 28th chapter. All right. Letting you know who you're dealing with. And it's not Japheth. It's Edom that fits that. All right. For you people that think the white man is Japheth, that's the most ridiculous shit. Doesn't fit the prophecy, my man. Or whoever it is. All right, that's going to be it. That's all I have for this. I saved it. And I'll put the link to this in the description box. And things are moving right along and speeding up, as a matter of fact. So now's not the time, as I like to say, you to be straddling that fence. All right, you got to make up your mind. This is a time for repentance while the door or the window is still open. You got to take advantage of it. All right, don't be one of those that I call the king or queen of procrastination, and when things happen, you just left out. All right, when you didn't take advantage of the time allotted to you. All right, that's that Sirach 5th chapter. Let's get that real quick and I'll close out on that. All right. This is Sirach 5 and I will start at 4. All right, and it says, "Say not, I have sinned, and what harm hath happened unto me? For the Lord is long suffering. He will in no wise let thee go." Really? Okay. 5, concerning propitiation, be not without fear to add sin unto sin. And say not, his mercy is great. He will be pacified for the multitude of my sins. Oh, you just know it, right? Cocky. All right. Yeah, okay. For mercy and wrath come from him, and his indignation resteth upon sinners. 7 is the point. Make no tarrying to turn to the Lord, and put not off from day to day. For suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come forth, and in thy security thou shalt be destroyed and perish in the day of vengeance. And that's what's going to happen to a lot of you. All right? Because you refused. All right? You refused to take heed. All right? You fanned your hand and, threw up certain fingers and cussed and cursed Yeah. And now you look around, you see everything. Well, if you do take the opportunity to actually slow down and actually look, all right, and you see everything crumbling around you, yeah, that's what we're talking about. At some point, you're going to recognize, damn, those guys were right. More importantly, the scriptures were right. And you're going to figure out that that person standing in the pulpit of one of these churches didn't have your best interest at heart, because he was doing what the enemy told him to tell you, because he went to their schools of so-called higher learning that had the audacity to try to teach you about the Most High, his theology. And oh, by the way, these same people are the ones that it says that the Most High hates, because they are of the nation of Edom. So if you're so educated, how? But that's it. You don't know that because you were not taught those certain scriptures. Of course not. Of course not. Again, 1 Corinthians, first chapter, start at 18. There's a reason. All right. All right, so with that, I hope whoever views his videos has been edified. That's what we do here at Great Millstone. And, of course, again, hey, keep your eyes and ears open out here. All right. I'm very serious about that. A lot of stuff going on. People are not in the best of moods now because they're feeling the pinch. Me personally, go do what I got to do and come back home. It's sad, but hey, you see certain things, yeah. All right, so with that, until next video, hey, shalom.